What's up, YouTubers? This is HarpyHunter89, and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den, and I finally have the Trickstar deck profile ready for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Real quick, don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video when I will be announcing the winner of the Battles of Legends Light's Revenge pack giveaway. You have to stay tuned to the end of the video so you can see who won that. But anyway, let's get started with this. First up, I run 3 Lily Bells. This is the Trickstar that lets you attack directly, and when it deals battle damage to your opponent, it lets you add a Trickstar monster from your graveyard to your hand. And if this card is added to your hand by any means other than drawing it, you can special summon it. Next up, I've got 3 Lycoris. Lycoris allows you to target a Trickstar monster you control, special summon it, and then return that Trickstar monster to your hand. And the effects do stack on top of each other, so if you have like 2 or 3 of them in your hand, all of them can target the same Trickstar monster on the field, and you only have to bounce 1 Trickstar to get multiple special summons off of it. Furthermore, when your opponent has a card added to their hand by any means, this deals 200 damage to your opponent for every card that was added to their hand. Next up is Candina. This is the primary searcher of the deck. When it's normal summoned, you can add any Trickstar card from your deck to your hand, and when your opponent activates Spell or Trap, then it deals 200 damage to your opponent. Must have for the deck. I've got 2 Honest, just because, it's Honest and all the Trickstars are light attributes, so, definitely need Honest in there to get over your opponent's boss monsters. I run 1 Max C. I'm not even going to go into why, because, it's pretty obvious. I've got 2 Double Summons. I feel that for my build, 2 Double Summons is pretty balanced, because I really only have 1 target for it, or 3 copies of 1 target for it, and that is Candina. Now 3 would be, okay if you want to run 3, but for my build, 2 is a lot better because you don't want to draw into it and not be able to use it. Next up, I've got 3 Dark Room of Nightmares. Dark Room of Nightmare allows you to push your burn damage just a little bit further. I've got 3 Cup of Ace. Cup of Ace allows you to flip a coin, and if heads, you draw 2 cards. If tails, your opponent draws 2 cards. And if you have Lycoris on the field, it really doesn't matter which effect goes off, whether it's you drawing or your opponent drawing, because even if your opponent draws off of this, if you have Lycoris on the field, you're still plussing off of it. So next up, I've got 3 Pot of Dualities. Now, Pot of Duality does stop you from special summoning during the turn you activate it, but with Lycoris' ability to be special summoned during your opponent's turn, it's not really going to slow you down that much. I only run 1 Terraforming. Now, I was originally testing Terraforming at 2 copies, and I bumped it down to 1 because I kept running into situations where I had already cycled through all of my field spells, and I was dead drawing it. But putting it at 1 allowed me to balance the card out, and since I've bumped it down to 1, I haven't dead drawn it at all. Next up, I run, of course, 3 Trickstar Light Stages. Light Stage, when it's activated, allows you to search out a Trickstar monster, and it prevents your opponent from using a face down card until the end phase, and if they can't use it during the end phase, then that face down is automatically destroyed. I run 3 Disturbance Strategies. This forces your opponent to shuffle their hand into the deck and draw a whole new hand, and it works really great with Lycoris as it deals a bunch of burn damage. Next up, I run 3 Reincarnations. Reincarnation does something similar to Disturbance Strategy. Reincarnation banishes your opponent's hand and forces them to draw a new hand. And you can also banish this card from your graveyard in order to special summon a Trickstar monster from your graveyard. So it's a double whammy for the deck. Continuing the traps, I run 2 Quaking Mirror Force. I went with 2 Quakings over 3 because Quaking does not work on Link monsters. And even though it doesn't work on Link monsters, putting all your opponent's monsters in the main monster zone face down does help a whole hell of a lot. Now, if they're running nothing but Link monsters out on the field, it doesn't really do you much good, but who's doing that outside of World Chalice right now? Following that, I've got 3 Storming Mirror Forces. I went with the Storming Mirror Force over the Blazing Mirror Force, merely because I like the way Storming Mirror Force works. It bounces all of your opponent's monsters to the hand, it gets around anti-destruction effects, and if you have a Lycoris on the field, your opponent's still taking burn damage off of it. And for the final trap in the deck, I of course run 3 Wabokus. Waboku prevents my monsters from being destroyed by battle, and it prevents me from taking battle damage during the turn is activated. For the extra deck, you don't really need an extra deck for Trickstars. Really, the only extra deck monster you need for it is, of course, Trickstar Holly Angel. And Holly Angel, whenever a Trickstar is summoned to the zone that this points to, it deals 200 damage to your opponent. And whenever your opponent takes burn damage off a Trickstar monster's effect, it gains attack, got a little tongue-tied there, equal to the damage your opponent took. So it deals burn damage and increases its attack for the burn damage that it deals. For the Xyz monsters, I've got 2 Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin to negate my opponent's monster effects and drop their monster's attack to 0. I've got a number 49 Fortune Tune. This serves sort of a Degusto Emerald effect. Whenever it's sent to the graveyard from the field, you can shuffle 2 level 3 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. And if you use that effect, this returns to the extra deck. So it allows you to recycle through the cards in your graveyard just a little bit more. I've got Zen Mains in the deck. Just 1 copy of Zen Mains, merely because it has built-in protection and a destruction effect. I've got an Abyss Dweller, because, nobody likes those pesky graveyard effects. I've got 2 Tsukiyomes just to help cycle through the deck a little bit more if I need to do that. I run double Honor Arc. Double Honor Arc works really great against Link monsters because they cannot go to defense and they are special summoned. So getting your opponent's Link monster off the field with an Honor Arc is really, really satisfying. Next up, I run 1 Ragna Zero. Ragna Zero is in here primarily for fucking True Kings, really, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to have Diagram on the field, which increases their monster's attacks. And you can chain Ragna Zero to, like a Masterpiece effect or some shit like that. As long as that Masterpiece is not, or can still be affected by monster effects, the Ragna Zero works really great against it. Run 1 Karen Gorgon just to prevent my opponent from targeting my shit. And 1 Dark Rebellion to get over boss monsters that are giving me a bit of trouble. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the deck profile. I hope it gave you some ideas for your own Trickstar deck. But let's go. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the winner of the Battles of Legend Light's Revenge packs. So it is time for the pack giveaway. And the way I'm going to do it is I have a randomized name generator here on my tablet. Now I had 7 people enter the competition. Only 7 of you commented your favorite video or your favorite thing about the channel on the comment sections below. I have all 7 of you right here on this name generator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this randomizer here to select the winner of the competition. So I will show it here. I will hit choose. And it looks like the winner is Warchild. Warchild, that is you. I know it's backwards on there, but anyway, Warchild is the winner of the Battles of Legend Light's Revenge pack giveaway. Those packs are right here. Warchild, I need you to go onto the Facebook page, which will be linked in the description box below. Send me a message with your mailing address. That way I can get these packs to you. If you do not have that address to me within a week, then these packs will be going to the runner-up, and I will select at that time. So make sure you go onto the Facebook page and get me or send me a message or an IM with your mailing information. That way I can get these packs to you. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Until next time, or make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the section below. And until next time, this is Top189 and the voices in my head. We just want to say Yu-Gi-Oh is not just a game. Yu-Gi-Oh is life.